Good morning, Fanatics, and welcome to Flow with the Markets Tuesday. Tuning in at around 1 hour after London Open. I intentionally waited a little bit more so that we get more data, so that I can actually give you more insights about where potentially the market could be going next. But pretty much you know what we're going to be doing in this video, just straight jumping onto the charts and having an update from what happened on Monday based on what we analyzed will happen on Saturday. You know the drill, it's pretty raw, I just jump into it, no pauses, no transitions, no nothing. So hopefully you appreciate this format and you're learning a lot from it. So without further ado, make sure you're subscribed, turn on the notification bell, let's roll the intro and get into the analysis. Alright, you know we're always starting with the Dixie, but of course before we do that, we always have to check the economic calendar. So pretty much, as I told you this week on Saturday, we're having the highlight of the week on Thursday and Friday. So you can see today we just have like two speeches from the Fed that could definitely throw in some volatility, but they're not from Mr. Powell, so I'm not sure how much volatility they will throw us. CPI tomorrow for China, that is important because it kind of indirectly affects other currencies, like maybe like the Aussie, like the NZD and stuff like this. I'm not sure how related it is to the US, although I heard that their relationship is getting a little bit better. I think I read this somewhere. For the NZD inflation expectations, that is important. If you are an NZD trader, then nothing too much. And then of course Thursday we have the CPI, so very, very, very important right there what the number will be, because that number can potentially determine whether the market will heavily impulse or maybe if it's going to continue chopping around in August. Because definitely, like, I've been trading just yesterday and I have been monitoring overall the markets. They are indeed sluggish. Okay, so back to the Dixie. So pretty much we are still staying within the same thing. So we're not going to be having many updates. I'm really happy to see that the outlook is playing out so far, but we still haven't made the move. So as you can see, we expected a potential pullback, a bearish DXY. The market pulls back beautifully on Monday, fills in the imbalance, which is right now imbalance filled. And of course, we expect further downside. But again, the market tries to push, it fails. And right now, guess what? If a high fails to take out a low, it becomes liquidity. And we just came in and we took it. Okay. So right now, of course, these liquidity lows to the downside, they still remain intact. So this is what we can eventually target if the DXY is really going to go down. But what I truly believe is happening this week is we're going to be waiting for the CPI. So that's a little bit hard to say, but I do think we're going to be chopping around. Maybe not in this range, but maybe we're going to come in up, or maybe we're going to break down and then chop around until we get the news. So what is happening right now? Yesterday we came in, we actually made a very nice alignment to the downside. And then of course this morning we would be expecting continuations, but nope, the market comes in and takes out this high, which is also the previous daily high. We just took it out with massive steam to the upside. So right now, of course, based on how I trade, I would personally be looking for a bearish alignment. So that I actually trade with an aligned 15-minute with the forward. So if the forward is bearish, I am not going to be taking a trade if the 15-minute is bullish. So I will need to see the 15-minute go bearish and then take a trade. So that could look something like this, right? And then look for a trade. Or that could look something like creating a new higher low, higher high, then breaking the higher low, and then still going for it. So there are my two outcomes for the Dixie. And once again, just keep it at the back of your mind. We're trading in a very tricky week with CPI, with a lot of news also on Friday. So we could be chopping around on Tuesday, tomorrow on Wednesday in preparation for the CPI, and pretty much Thursday is going to be making the move. So again, don't stress. Don't try to catch something way too hard because the market is just choppy. It's also August and yeah, we cannot expect that much. So that's the Dixie, still staying with the short bias. But again, let's see how it's going to be playing out from this zone. Right now, liquidity is being grabbed, which is very good. So that just this what happens right now adds more fuel for the market to go down. So let's see how that resonates with EU. So EU also, I was very, very excited to go long on it. But guess what? It just doesn't go, right? Yesterday, just beautiful development, exactly as expected. We came in, we perfectly tapped into the imbalance, we perfectly aligned bullish, but not really, it didn't really provide a setup, unfortunately. But what I'm currently about to tell you, well, if this low failed to push higher and cause a high, guess what? It becomes liquidity. So we're most likely going to be seeking this low right now before we push up, and we're most likely going to be tapping inside the 4-hourly demand before we take out the high. And that is again most likely going to be happening during the CPI, from which we can like throw a wick or something, so it's probably going to get ugly. So what happens yesterday is we had a tricky open. So that was yesterday's valid range high right there. So that was the lower high. And I was just simply looking for longs. There were, I do believe, 2 members of my community that actually took a short from here, just simply based on our Fanatic Model 1, which is following the 15-minute. But again, I started listening a lot to liquidity, a lot of macro bias as well. And then to me, we tapped this imbalance. We're below the 50% on the forge. So it didn't make a lot of sense to go short. So I skipped this short, although it ran very nicely. I had a member hitting 7R TP on this one. And then, of course, I was looking for some sort of an alignment. But when it started like aligning bullish, it was already too late. And then it got choppy. So no trades on EU yesterday. And this morning, what it did, like if I just track it back, like that was according to me where the trend change happened. And then the market came in and took out the high for a trend change up. And then guess what? The market immediately went down and made the trend change down. So you can see there is a lot of manipulation happening. The market just came in, it spiked this high, didn't even take the previous daily high, right? It spiked the high and then it just massively reversed right now. And I was this morning expecting some sort of longs, but again, guess what? The market just dumped. So there were no longs at all. So right now that we take out the Asian low, there is some chance like that something is left here that is probably like a 30-minute zone or something. However, knowing that this low did not cause a high, I just think that could be liquidity. So again, trying to look for some sort of a long front right there is a little bit low probability. So again, guys, be careful. Right now it can be dropping like to a 5-minute time frame or just look for a 50-minute bullish alignment. I would personally be waiting. Because even the 30-minute, well, no, you can see the 30-minute actually. The 30-minute aligned here, bullish, and that is to the 30-minute higher low, 30-minute higher high. So yes, we're tapping inside a 30-minute zone. So this is why the only reason I could entertain like a 5-minute long setup from here, which is again one of our models right there. But yeah, so that is one of the outcomes that I would expect. And the other one is for us to just break below this liquidity area low, and then maybe tomorrow or later today, then look for the long, because then we're going to be taking this liquidity. We're going to be tapping inside the 4-hourly demand, which we actually did not tap on EU. And then we can hopefully have more confidences to go long. So on EU, those are my 2 outcomes as of right now. Okay, so let's be patient. Let's see what happens. Let's also monitor like the 5-minute. But yeah, we took out Asian high, we took out the liquidity high, we took out the liquidity low. So right now it's most likely gonna chop, because again, pretty much the setup I do believe is over after this massive flush. I don't think we're gonna be pulling back to take a short. Like from here, we took out the Asian low. Not sure if we're gonna pull back and take a short towards the liquidity low. That is also definitely possible. So again, guys, when you have way too many outcomes and you just don't know what to trade and what's gonna happen, guess what? You don't trade. So personally, again, this is my situation right now. I don't know what's going to happen. I'm going to entertain a long idea from here on the 5-minute, but most likely I'm not going to be trading today as well. Let's have a look at the JPYs. Oh, well, look at that. So UJ on the other side, it very nicely reverses into the highs. So this is something new, and we form a 4-hourly trend change, and we're still tapping inside this zone. But again, this zone like got retested here. So right now we're tapping what was left, and we can classify this potentially as a liquidity gap right there. But is it really a liquidity gap, or is the market just going to respond? Probably a response. This is currently, according to me, the valid higher low formation. That is currently, according to me, the 4-hourly range. And then of course we have a little bit of imbalance here that just got filled, so the market could react. But again, the real imbalance is right there. That is to be filled. So in terms of macro, I would love to see an imbalance fill here and a long, but of course intraday we could already be looking to take a long trade. But yeah, you can see the 50-minute. Oh, beautiful, man. Sometimes I really think I should be looking to trade some JPYs, because this one beautifully took out the Asian high, beautifully took out liquidity to the left. It beautifully made a trend change, right? And it provided a beautiful short setup from here. Would you take it like as an aggressive setup? Forget, would you go on the 1 minute? It also provided on the 1 minute. I'm seriously thinking of adding EJ to my list, but we'll see about that. So right now, as we're traveling to the downside, this is the last range. This is the last structure break. So you have a couple of choices. You can look for the market to pull back and take another short and then ride it into the 50% or even into the imbalance. Or of course, you can start looking for the market to align longs, because right now the 4-hourly time frame is longs. And what was the daily on this one? I don't really... Yeah, the daily is bearish. So yeah, the daily is bearish. It took out this high right there. It nicely went down. So yeah, it has some short confluences, but just looking at it from here, there were a lot of longs coming in from here. So I also do believe that this could go long. So again, JPYs, they're always a 50-50 game, because they're a combination of like Euro USD and USD Yen, which usually are going to move in the opposite direction. So yeah, but this is my outlook. This is what I do believe is the best choice right now, looking for a 50-minute pullback right there above the 50%, get your entry and then target like at least the 50% right there. And then of course, if from here it just flushes, then of course wait for a bullish alignment to go with your 4-hourly bias. So short intraday bias on EJ, let's see if we get it. We however took out the Asian low, so a liquidity has been taken. So of course the best setup for this morning was this short right there. So of course, let's see how it goes. I do believe we have more downside potential. AU. So that's a pair that I don't look at all overall. And yeah, I mean, this one just had two outlooks. We're either going to be making a 4-hourly TC and continue going higher, or we're going to be holding from this 4-hourly valid lower high and dropping lower. And it looks like we're dropping lower. Okay, so there it is. We're almost about to be making a new 4-hourly lower low, which is good. So I hope we actually make this lower low. And I mean, yeah, I mean, this is why I don't trade it, right? It just looked clearly yesterday, like for example, GU, EU, S&P. Where is the... Did they change all the stuff on TradingView? Yeah, like Asian range took out the low, pulls back like up and down, 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 up, then up, then down, and then chopping around, and it's just not good. And also the dollar has been moving like this for quite a while. Like, just look, right? It's not good. And yeah, right now, I mean, we're just pushing massively down. We're creating a new... We made a new structure break right there. We had supply, so we can be looking to take a short. Right now we're making another structure break right there. But I mean, if you just start looking at the overall ranges right now, like this one was already tapped, so right now we just had the break. What caused the break? You see, it's confusing. Do you take this, or do you take like this bigger candle? I don't know. So I would say it's not a very good idea to take a short on the Aussie, because it's way too low. It also took out the Asian low. It's also very compressed. So I would be personally, once again, skipping. Because again, guys, trading is all about taking that trade that is just a yes trade, right? Back in the past when I was learning, one of my mentors like told me, like, before you take a trade, like, you just ask the question, am I really sure of this trade? And if the sound is not like 100% yes, or like you can ask yourself, would I take this trade if I was trading $1 million account? Because if you're trading that big of account, you wouldn't be taking every trade, right? And if the answer is not a sounding yes, then most likely you should be skipping. So that's the Aussie. I mean, you can be looking for shallower pullbacks and then potentially a push down. But as soon as we take this low, start expecting a correction. Start expecting like that the 4-hourly time frame is gonna give you a pullback. Then of course this is gonna be your lower high formation. So then the market, if it breaks, then we can expect a pullback, and then potentially we're gonna see what's gonna happen. Maybe it's gonna shift longs from this zone, or maybe it's gonna initiate a pullback and give you another short. We don't know, and that is probably what we're gonna be covering in the next weekly outlook. Okay, so that's AU, not looking very good. You can take shorts until this low is taken, and after the 4-hourly low is taken, then prepare for longs. AJ, did it go long? This one just chopped over. I mean, guys, I'm not gonna even waste time on this. Okay, like supply reacted, came in again, reacted. So right now, like this zone, because when you draw a zone, the market came into the zone and reacted. So right now, what was left of this zone was this, and the market pretty much came in and tapped into what was left, took this one as liquidity, and right now it's rejecting. So it looks bearish. So if you manage to catch a short right here, then beautiful. Okay, the market came in. It didn't even take out the Asian high. It looks equals. Yeah, it didn't take it out. So technically, yeah, let's just say that the TC is here, and then the market breaks structure lower here. So again, if you're looking for some sort of a trade, there is your last 15-minute zone that already got retested But if it comes again, you can still look. And I mean, you could be taking shorts until this hourly zone breaks, but I want you to just see what we're currently doing. All right, we're just chopping around. There was a little range, the market broke out of it and then it created the big range. And then of course there are very tiny ranges within it. So again, this is a very big range on all time frames. So again, you know what I'm gonna say. We'll look for another pair. But of course, if you're looking to trade AJ, the bias is currently shorts. But we're just in the middle of the range, so that could start chopping around. So again, guys, be careful and trade only what is looking clear and makes sense. Let's have a look at the NZDs. So yeah, I was telling you that again, this one is like aligning a little bit to the upside, and we could have like an upside to push us into the imbalance, but I can see right now that we are just dumping. And why? I just learned that Chinese news impact the Aussie and the NZD, and I do believe we had some Chinese news recently. So look at that, we're just massively dumping and we're forming like a 4-hourly trend change, and I have a liquidity line right there. Why is this line there? Is it like a daily low? Oh, well, yeah, because we're bearish on the daily and most likely we're going to be targeting this low. So yeah, I mean, this is just very cleanly to the downside right now. I mean, yesterday you might have been tricked into some longs, but I mean, just look at it. And this is not a pair that I would like to trade, right? It opens, breaks down, breaks up, then breaks down, then breaks up. Then again, here it breaks down, then it chops around, and then this morning just drops, right? Like crazy. So August is not good. So yeah, I mean, right now, exactly the same as the Aussie. Like, I mean, it's forming those very compressed ranges. And pretty much you can take like a supply like this. You can look for some sort of a pullback right there and take a short into that liquidity area low. But personally, I would not really recommend it. We already took a lot of liquidity to the downside right there. So let me just update my range. Oh no, that is the daily range that I have right there. The market didn't even pull back to 50% of the daily range. And right now it's dropping lower and it's taking out this low and it's coming very close to this low. So similar to what I said on DLZ, as we start taking these lows, so we took out this low right there, I would be expecting a retracement, but most likely the market is headed for that low. So as soon as we take this low, then start looking for longs and start looking for the pullback. And that is actually going to be a higher probability trade rather than looking to take a short from here. Okay, guys, so be patient. I'm not sure if you could have taken the short. Let me know if you did, but personally just makes what I covered so far, nothing makes sense to me. So I'm very happy that also this week I'm going to be traveling for tomorrow and I'm not going to be very active in the chat. So most likely I'm just taking August as a break. NZD JPY. Okay, so this one, not that bad. I was expecting to fill the imbalance and then to potentially go up. This one is pretty much bullish. 4-hourly low, 4-hourly high. It's making internal alignments. But I mean, just again, look at it. We had a range. The market took out the range. And it's coming in back right now. And the big thing about this one is that this is the 4-hourly low. And that is the 4-hourly high. So you cannot come into the chart and say, oh, 4-hourly structure break. No. This is all internal between this low and this high. So what you're trading right now is internal structure, which is never a good idea because the market usually utilizes internal structure for liquidity. So you are going to be becoming liquidity if you start drawing like trend changes and structure breaks right there on the internal structure. So how you can approach this one, just wait or trade the intraday. So like the intraday is absolutely, man, this market is just very bad. So like, I mean, what I mean by trading intraday, we'll wait for something to get taken, then look to see where the momentum of the day is gonna go. For example, today it's clearly to the downside. And then of course you can look to take a short like this. That is what I call like intraday momentum trading. But usually the best trades are when this aligns with the daily bias and with the 4-hourly objectives and with the 4-hourly structure. And currently nothing is aligning on this pair. So once again, I'm telling you guys, skip or wait for something more. Like even if we consider internal structure, like let's just say we consider it. We took out the low, we took out a high. So yeah, technically this is right now like a big demand zone. So you should be looking for longs right there, right? The market will most likely take some of these lows right here. Well, the only low that is left is this. So I mean, if you get a bullish 50-minute alignment, then you can entertain a long idea, but this is just me right now forcing trades onto you, which is me being a bad coach. So I'm gonna stop with this and I'm gonna tell you, look for another pair. Yeah, looking at UJ, it's very clear where that JPY strength comes from. So yeah, I'm just gonna delete everything. And yeah, this is good. I mean, we're having some adaptations to make. There's the forward break. And yeah, this is not the valid one. Yeah, this one is tricky. I want to take something big like this. Because this is not the higher low. That is the low that caused the high. It's not these little things in between right there. So technically, I just want to take like a very big zone. No, 8 hours maybe. I'm just gonna keep it as it is right here. So currently the range is from this low to this high. Do we have any imbalance? Nothing except this guy. So that could be some sort of an imbalance that we could be looking to fill. And once again, you can be slightly flexible. You can like move around your valid range, right? Currently we are at the top, so we can be looking for shorts. And again, beautiful trade. I mean, for example, EJ and what I see right now, UJ, they did make a good setup. So the high, TC down, there's the lower high, so that's the supply, retested, boom, massive drops. And right now it starts to chop around a little bit. So right for here, for example, we broke down. Then here, for example, right now we're breaking up. But if you want to remove the noise, just go to the 30-minute. And the 30-minute is, for example, going to have, this is a zone. So if the market comes in right there, you can take a short as well. I do believe this one has more short potential because it has imbalance to fill. And the 50% is all the way down there. And also the DXY is overall bearish. So if you're looking to trade something, I do believe USD JPY is a good idea. But you just need to get a setup, which you don't have right now. So either wait for this one to tap and then look for your entry pattern, or wait for a new structure break, retest, and then a continuation. So that is very simply UJ and what I expect to happen. Oh, my favorite pair. Guys, I'm really thinking, so if you're watching this, maybe from the next outlook, I'm not going to be covering UCAT, because I just see no sense in it. I mean, I just keep breaking this down, and I don't enjoy doing it, so I'm not going to do it, because you should not be doing something that you don't enjoy. I really have no idea what this did yesterday. Down, up, chopped around. Right now is just massively impulsing higher. That is probably based on some sort of a news. So once again, it made the quality high right now. There will be a time in which you should start expecting a pullback. So wait for that high to form. Wait for the 50-minute to align bearish. And only then you can start looking for shorts. Right now, it's most likely going to be seeking some sort of liquidity. One here, one there. I see one was already taken, but we don't see any response. So yeah, this one is just pushing. So you have two choices. You either keep following the flow, but I don't even see like valid 50-minute zones right there. It's all like little dojis, or wait for a trend change to the downside and then take a retracement trade into imbalance. Like for example, there is one imbalance right there that's to be filled. Maybe another one is gonna form when the new 40 candle prints. Let's see, but I really do like it that we're having at least a clear momentum on UCAT kicking in. So the bias is longs. GU is also very interesting right now. So similar to EU, it played out beautifully. It came in, filled in the imbalance, it tapped into the zone, and it gave a beautiful reaction. We had a couple of members taking a long trade on GU, although it was kind of a not a very textbook trade. It was taken from here during the time that I don't trade pretty much. But what is happening right now is we had this higher low. The market tried to push and it failed to break. And again, you know, it's a pattern that I observe a lot. If that fails to break, then that means that this low is weak, which is something we could be seeking right now. This morning, I mean, no trades this morning. So what the market did, it came in and took out the high here. Then it made a trend change down there. Then technically the supply, I'm a hot supply like this, hoping to take out the Asian high and take a short, but no, the market just chopped around, didn't even take out the Asian high, and right now it's breaking structure here. What caused that break? Pretty much this big guy. So it once again just doesn't look good, and I'm getting angry because the market is just not looking good. And yesterday I spent a lot of time on the charts, and pretty much like the whole London session was very choppy. Luckily we took a very nice trade on S&P later in the day, but not nice. It also hit break even. So here, either a break or a continuation, or a retest and a continuation. I am personally looking for shorts. Longs could definitely come in, by the way. But just again, similar to EU, as this low failed to cause a high, I've seen it a lot of times. It usually tends to become liquidity. So I will be looking for maybe for this low to be taken. And then during the news, maybe the market is going to continue carrying on to the upside. So That is Geo right now. It doesn't make a lot of sense. You can see it just chops around overall, and like yesterday was nice. I mean, the hours that I traded with right there, they were not nice, but then again here there was a little setup right there, and then the market ran off. So there was something to be taken, but it was not clear. And right now again I just see nothing. So guess what? I am very comfortable, and I'm actually very happy to just say I'm not gonna trade today. I'm gonna come back tomorrow. I'm gonna come back next week, or I'm gonna take a break and come back in September, right? You have to be able to do such a decision, because I'm reading a lot of the emails and you guys a lot of telling me I cannot stop, I need the money, I need the money, I cannot stop. Is this productive? Not really, because you're forcing it. Saying it that you need the money is not good, because again, the more you kind of desperately desire something, it's usually not going to come back to you. Things come back to you when you actually let them go, when you say I don't need the money, I'm just going to put in the work, I'm going to work normally, I'm going to work productively, I'm going to put in the work like in a normal manner, because a lot of you're like studying for 8 hours and staying on the chart for 8 hours, and you just get burnt out, and as a result you lose money. Okay, so the moment you start relaxing a little bit, that is the moment when things are going to happen. So GJ also hourly trend change created a beautiful hourly imbalance right there. So again, looking for this one to be filled, tap into the 50%, and then looking to start taking longs. So yeah, the JPYs do look like they have a nice bearish vibe. So that was already retested. We have a brand new structure break right there, which was also already retested. So you could be running a short right now. Broke up. I should have been with a sell stop maybe. Yeah, so that could be a short you're running, but 15 pips stop loss, I don't know. But that is definitely a setup that you could be running right now. Although once again, it's very sloppy, it's very choppy, so it's most likely gonna come back to hit break even right now, but it could definitely go. This is a valid setup that you could be taking, although the stop loss according to me is pretty big. So I'm in short bias. If the market comes back again, you can entertain another short idea, because as long as the market is like above the 50% and it hasn't filled an imbalance, you can be looking for short. I really don't like that the Asian high is still left intact. Usually would like to see this one being taken, but what I'm gonna say is that I'm short bias on GJ, and I would be looking for shorts if I was trading this pair. The question is, how do you get a setup? Well, that is your part. Gold probably did nothing. Yeah, it just pushed down, and right now we're... So I'm not gonna say anything about gold, because once again, guys, it's probably waiting the news, and me saying something, it's probably gonna be wrong. And I mean, yesterday, just look at yesterday. Chop, up and down, chop. Right now, chop. I'm just gonna skip it, okay? So it just makes no sense, and most likely I'm gonna start forcing something and like trying to find something to show you, because I always want you to leave with something, but again, this is not always the great idea. So yes, we're tapping inside this demand zone after like creating this hourly trend change right here. Is this really a significant zone? No, because this is actually more significant, because it exited with a lot of momentum. It came back, and most likely we could be headed to take out the low. So there is some sort of a chance we can take a long from here, but just looking at how the market is developing so far, I don't think we're going to be getting a good trade. Like look here, and right now it pretty much looks the same. So once again, guys, keep in mind August sucks, and we're having a lot of news incoming. So US30 did pull back very heavily into this very recent hourly supply. Is it gonna hold? It's the question. Well, right now, yeah, I mean, we are technically bearish on the hourly time frame. We made a 15-minute trend change just right here, because that is the last 15-minute break, and then all of this was internal. There's the break, and then of course we start doing fun stuff. We break down, we break up, and right now we're looking for a breakdown to potentially continue going lower. So I mean, I'm just gonna say that my bias is shorts, but just looking at, I mean, look at this, guys. We massively pushed down, and then we massively pushed up. So does that look good to you? Does that look like the market is very heavily bearish in a very nice correction? Not really. Okay, not really. So just sometimes you just gotta think logical, and to me, this development right there is not looking good. So most likely I'm not gonna be engaging, but I'm gonna tell you that of course the bias is shorts. So if you get shorts, then of course make sure to go for them. Right now, especially during London, I don't suggest you trade indices. Nasdaq, you can see broke up, and we wick down. Yeah, it looks like we just wick down. But again, thinking logically, look at what we're doing right now. It's just a very big chop, and right now I'm gonna be forced to mark this as a hourly supply zone and then drop because we had this very tiny wick out right there. So what I would actually love to see, thinking in terms of manipulation, is later today for us to take out this high, to tap inside the supply and then get a short. So this is the setup I'm gonna call, because I'm not gonna be exploring all of the structure because it's nonsense. Okay, it's very internal, it's very choppy. So you would like to look at a little bit more of a macro play on this one. So if this is a hourly alignment, I would be looking to see for this high to be taken during New York Stock Exchange open preferably, and then looking to take a reversal / manipulation short. Okay, so that's gonna be Nasdaq and S&P also. I'm gonna be looking to short it today. We shorted it yesterday with the team. All of us took a beautiful short and we got a break even. The short was taken from here. We took out on that wick. It ran around almost 3 hours. So I took 2 trades. One was from here. Stop loss was a bit big, and because I didn't reach 3 hours. Yeah, so that's 3.3. So maybe my entry was something like this, 4.5. So I was looking for one more drop. Didn't take it, and I also did scale in from here. This is scale in. The stop loss in this case was bigger. So as the market made this push down, I managed my stop loss exactly right there. Oh, no. Excuse me. Where did I manage? I managed it here. I managed it right there. So that trade was stopped out a little bit of profit. That trade was stopped out with a very minimal loss. So I perfectly made like 0% on that trade. So that was my first trade of the week. Break even. Today I'm going to be looking for the same, right? So look at how the market is correcting right now. So what I'm going to be looking for is for a nice spike into the highs, taking out Asian high, taking out this high, and then potentially impulsing onto the downside, because also like the fundamentals are showing us that the stock market could initiate a correction. So I'm really focusing on shorts right now, taking the S&P down a little bit into these sort of areas, and then also starting to invest a little bit. So short bias still on indices. And yeah, pretty much Bitcoin and cryptos are not doing anything. So just to recap, DXY looking to see how it's going to respond right now from the zone and if it's going to give us some shorts. Once again, wait for the 50-minute to align before you look for something. Euro USD, I see that it's reacting very nicely from the zone. 5-minute, it's not very clear. So most likely I'm not going to be trading EU during London. But again, a lot of moving parts here. This low can become liquidity, but we're still bullish. Let's wait for this low to get taken out and then maybe enter into the forward demand zone. I really do think this is going to be the higher probability opportunity. EJ, like the JPYs are right now bearish. So you could entertain a short idea on the JPYs. AU and NU, not looking very good. AJ and NJ also not looking very good. The only one that looked good was EJ, but the setup right there is already over. So if you get a pullback here, you can look to take a short. UJ is also looking very nicely for short, so if you get any short opportunity, then you can definitely go for it. UCAD exploding, GU unclear, we can be looking for this low to be taken. We can also be looking for this low to be taken. There is a lot of liquidity available, and what I really do believe we're waiting for is for the news. Gold just chopping around, and indices, I'm going to be looking for shorts overall in New York, okay? So that's how I'm going to wrap up the video, guys. Again, nothing clear. I really don't enjoy sitting through these markets. I was looking yesterday. I'm looking also today, waiting for setups, but it's just very slow. It's very random. Takes liquidity here, goes there, and then it just starts chopping. So once again, if you do not feel the market conditions, don't force it. Learn the skill to step away, learn the skill to let go. The market is not going to go anywhere. Your money is not going to go anywhere. And actually, as I told you, the more you try to force it, the more it's going to run away from you. So I wish you an incredible week. Trade very safe. Make sure to take a little break, reward yourself, because right now it's probably the perfect time to be taking a break. September, October, November, and December are not a good idea to be taking a break because the market's gonna be on fire then, okay? So wishing you an incredible week ahead. Talk to you on Saturday and let me know how you're performing so far in the comments.